The new penny card in the Eevee Grove set releasing next Thursday might need to be banned from every single tournament. And Giratina Darkrai is finally done. And we now have Stage 1 non-EX Pokemon, just regular Stage 1 Pokemon, that can do 200 damage. As if they were frickin' Charizard EX. It's awesome! And let's look at all of it. My new favorite card is Swirlix, with the attack Sweets Relay. This is one of the cards that's coming out next Thursday. Sweets Relay does 10 damage, that's pretty weak, plus 20 damage if a Pokemon used Sweets Relay last turn. Doesn't say it had to be Swirlix. In theory, we might get more Pokemon that have Sweets Relay, so we could, relay the Sweets to the next Pokemon and improve its attack. We could have a full Sweets deck, maybe, right, with Vanillux and Swirlix and all the candy Pokemon powering themselves up. It will be glorious. But Swirlix alone is not that impressive. It's got a pretty weak attack by itself. The reason it's my new favorite card is this. Milcery also has Sweets Relay, but it evolves into the mighty Alcremie, the queen of the cakes. Alcremie's attack Sweets Overload does 40 damage for each time your Pokemon used Sweets Relay during the entire game. You just use it 3 times, this thing is doing Rampardos damage for a Stage 1 Pokemon. Use it 4 times, it's 160 damage. Use it 5 times, this thing becomes Charizard EX for 1 energy. You want to KO anything in the game for 1 energy on a Stage 1 Pokemon? Sure. Why not? Favorite new card. Espeon is the end of all Giratina decks. 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon combined. All of them. So you're fighting that Giratina Darkrai deck that's got like 4 energy on Giratina, 3 energy on 2 different Darkrai. Congrats, bro. My Espeon does 200 damage. What is with this new set and giving Stage 1 Pokemon 200 damage? I don't know, but I love it. Like, you can't play Giratina Darkrai anymore. And I think the developers realized what they were doing because of this next card. The new Umbreon is also a counter to Giratina Darkrai. If the defending Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, it can't attack next turn. Savage. And they're psychic and dark, just like Giratina Darkrai and Pokemon Pocket are psychic and dark. I think the devs realized that people were sick of Giratina Darkrai, and they're like, we're gonna make 2 cute cats that are the exact same energy type, but completely shut down Giratina Darkrai. The new Sylveon card is weird, really good, but you will never use it, but you will put it in your deck. Let me explain that. 70 damage for 2 energy is mid at best. 140 health is okay. It's not bad, but for an EX Pokemon, that's a little weak right now. But the ability Happy Ribbon is amazing. When you play this turn to evolve 1 Pokemon, you may draw 2 cards. So, evolving an Eevee into Sylveon gives you an auto Professor Oak. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Basically, you just throw an Eevee on your bench, evolve it into Sylveon, and get 2 cards. And you never actually have to use the Sylveon. And if you're desperate and you really need to, you can. 2 energy, 140 health, 1 retreat cost. I really like that it only has 1 retreat cost, so you can retreat it if you need to, like tank a hit and then get the heck out of there. I think it's a good card. I don't think it's going to be your main attacker. I think it's more like going to be like Shiinotic currently is in a lot of decks. Like, it helps you draw, but you don't actually want to attack with it unless you're desperate. This is basically Shiinotic EX, and it's going to be used in every Eevee deck, probably. Alright, the new Leafeon does 20 more damage for every Leaf Energy you attach. Now, this is basically a non-EX Celebi. Celebi does 50 damage for every Leaf Energy attached, but only if you flip a coin and gets heads. Which means on average, Celebi was really doing 25 damage for every energy attached. This Leafeon does 10 plus 20 damage, which means if you attach 2 energy, it's equal to an average damage Celebi. Think about it. If you do the math, this thing is exactly equal to Celebi up to 2 energy. It's a little weaker than Celebi on average after 2 energy, and before 2 energy, it's a little stronger. But ultimately, it's comparable to Celebi as a stage 1 basic. That's pretty good. I think that this won't work in every deck because you need a lot of energy to make it really start cranking up the damage, but like with an Executor deck, maybe? Sure! Executor needs 1 energy to attach, put this thing in your back line, you know? Start shoving Leaf Energy on it, bring it out like Exodia at the end of the game, and knock out a Charizard with this thing. Amazing! I love it. This is a great card. 10 out of 10. It's really weak, but if you play it well, it becomes really strong. This is the cutest thing I've seen in the world, and it's the weakest EX Pokemon that has ever been made. Ever. Just 90 health, 30 damage, pretty mid. But the reason it is good is because it is cute, and for no other reason. No, that's not true. It's more than just a cute, adorable Eevee that I just want to hug. This card can evolve into any Pokemon that evolves from Eevee. Normally, EX Pokemon don't work like that. You might have noticed that if you ever tried to play like Cynthia on Garchomp EX, it doesn't work. It's not the same. But this card is the same as regular Eevee. It can evolve into any of the Eevee evolutions. Meaning, because this exists, you can now play a deck with 4 Eevee instead of only 2. So you can fulfill your dream of being Penny and playing a full Eevee deck. And for that reason, it's a pretty good card. The new Flareon has been described as just a diff on Arcanine EX. Like, just fire diffing Arcanine EX. It probably does diff Arcanine EX, if I'm being honest. I think Arcanine EX just got power crept by this thing. It's a pretty good card. It's fun, it's balanced, 2 retreat cost punishes it a little bit. I think it's a fair card. A strong, fair card. I like it. Okay, we gotta talk about Penny. And even though there are more new cards in the new set that have been revealed in the trailer, this is the last one I'm going to talk about because this is the last one that's good. This is the last one that's really amazing, you know, kind of broken. We'll maybe do a full review video of all the cards once they're all revealed. But for now, we're ending with Penny, and there's a reason. Penny is problematic in terms of fair gameplay. I think Penny might actually get banned from some big tournaments. Here's the problem with Penny. Penny will play a supporter card and treat Penny as that supporter card. So Penny's basically a ditto for supporter cards. In your opponent's deck. Here's why that's bad. Penny can copy your opponent's Professor Oak, but only if Professor Oak is in their deck. Not in their hand, not in their discard pile, in their deck. Do you see the problem? If you get Professor Oak first, draw lots of cards, draw your Penny, play your Penny, steal your opponent's Professor Oak, you've drawn like 6 extra cards. Then your opponent finally gets their Penny, because they were bricking, right? They got the bad opening. They didn't get any Oaks or Pokeballs. They got the bad opening. But they finally got Penny. They play Penny. And it copies Giovanni and does nothing. Because you've already played your Oaks. That's the problem. Penny is win more. She rewards you just for drawing your Oaks early and punishes your opponent for not drawing their Oaks early. And that's kind of a problem. It makes the game more random without any real interaction or strategy. In theory, you could sabotage Penny by playing Articuno 18. Why are we bringing back that? Why are we bringing back Articuno 18? No. So I think ultimately either Penny will be so questionable that you won't be able to play her at all because your opponents are running decks full of supporter cards that are completely useless. Like, you don't want to use Penny against a Sylveon deck, copy Gladion, and it does nothing, right? Or Penny will be completely broken and just give you extra Oaks for the reward of drawing better. Good job. Your luck stat is very high. You deserve to win this game. I don't know. I might be overreacting. Let me know what you think about Penny and the other cards down in the comments. Do you think Penny's a problem, or do you think with good strategy she'll work sometimes? Maybe not other times. I don't know. Let me know what you think. This is Sneaky Dragon, and I'll catch you later.